Hello everyone and welcome back to The Things We Fear. Everyone is afraid of some kind of object, whether it be needles or dolls, or the occasional mask. But on today's episode we talk about items that have a little something extra attached to them. I'm your host William Schmidt, and join me as I share with you today's 10 haunted or cursed objects. Number 1. The Great Omar. Sangorski and Sutcliffe is a firm of bookbinders established in London in 1901. It is considered to be one of the most important bookbinding companies of the 20th century, famous for its luxurious jewel bindings that used real gold and precious stones in their book covers. The Great Omar was worth around £1,000 because of the craftsmanship of the binding. The first offer that the creators were given was well below what they wanted, so they refused and decided to auction it off. Unfortunately, at the time, there was a coal strike, which caused a temporary dip in the economy. As a result, the book only sold for about £400, well below what the firm had hoped for. It was purchased by an American book dealer who put it on the Titanic to be sent to America. It sank with the Titanic, and Sangorski drowned almost 5 weeks later. A second copy was made that was placed in a bank safe vault for safekeeping. That copy was destroyed in the London bombing of World War II. In 1995, Stanley Bray made a third version of the binding using the original design. Stanley passed away shortly afterwards. His copy of the book is now being kept in the British Library. Number 2. Anna Baker's wedding dress. In 1949, a girl from a rich family named Anna Baker fell in love with an ironworker. Anne's father refused to let her marry him because he was of a lower class. But Anna was deeply in love with the man and even purchased a wedding dress for herself, in the hopes that one day her father would relent. But Anna's father was a stubborn man, and he said he would never let her marry her one true love. Anna was so angry with her father that she decided she would never marry, no matter how many suitors her father would bring to the table. Eventually, by the time her father died, it was too late and her true love had passed away. Anna lived out her days alone and very angry. Servants of the household would sometimes see Anna wearing her wedding dress and dancing under the moonlight. Anna died old and bitter in 1914. The Baker's mansion was eventually turned into a museum, and Anna's dress was placed into a glass case and displayed in her old room. Visitors have reported seeing a woman's face looking back at them through the glass, that the dress sleeves move on their own accord. Staff have even reported hearing the heartbroken sobs of a woman in the building when no one else is there. Number 3. Okiku. There are many stories of haunted dolls throughout the world, but the most popular in Japan is that of Okiku, a doll which resides at Menenji Temple in Hokkaido. The doll was purchased in Hokkaido in 1918 by then 17-year-old Eikichi Suzuki as a gift for his sister Kikuko. She loved the doll so much it never left her side. She would even sleep with it at night. Sadly, Kikuko later died from an illness that year. The family kept the doll at a household shrine in remembrance and prayed to it. They named the doll Okiku after their daughter, but soon they noticed something strange. It seemed Okiku's hair was growing. Seeing this as a sign that their daughter was still with them, the family continued to take care of the doll and began cutting its hair. In 1938, Kikuko's father had to move to mainland Japan to look for work, taking the family with him. He gave the doll to Menenji Temple to be looked after. Even today, you can go to the temple to see Okiku the doll. The monks still cut her hair periodically to keep it neat. Number 4. The Bassano Vase. Made from carved silver in the 15th century, the Bassano vase has been the subject of many Italian tales that still continue to frighten and inspire. The vase was made for an Italian bride as a wedding gift in a northern village close to Napoli. On her wedding night, the new bride was found lying on the floor, clutched to the vase and dying. Before taking her last breath, she promised to return and seek her revenge. After her passing, the vase was then handed down from family member to family member, each one dying of mysterious circumstances. Eventually, the vase was boxed and hidden in a certain location. Some say it was buried in sacred ground by priests, others say it simply disappeared. Regardless of the circumstances, the vase reappeared in 1988 when a young man found it with a note that said, "Beware, this vase brings death." The vase was quickly sold at auction for 4 million lira, and its reign of death continued. The buyer was a local pharmacist who died only 3 months after purchasing the vase. His family sold it to a prominent surgeon who died 2 months later at age 37. After a short period of time, the vase was again sold to an archaeologist who died 3 months later of an unknown infection. The family of the archaeologist again sold the vase. The new owner, upon learning of the curse, tried to give it to several museums, all of which refused to take it. Its current location is unknown, but it is said that the police had it buried in a cemetery where they hope it will remain indefinitely. The Black Orlov. The Black Orlov is a black diamond, also known as the Eye of Brahma diamond. It weighs 67.50 carats, 13,500 grams to the layman. The diamond, originally 195 carats, is said to have been discovered in the early 19th century in India. It is supposedly featured as one of the eyes in a statue of the Hindu god Brahma in Pondicherry, until it was stolen by a Jesuit monk. According to legend, this theft caused the diamond to be cursed. In 1932, diamond dealer J.W. Paris is said to have taken the diamond to the United States, and soon after committed suicide by jumping from a skyscraper in New York City. Later owners included 2 Russian princesses called Leonida Golitsiny-Bryadsky and Nadia Virginia Orlov, after whom the diamond is named. Both women allegedly jumped to their deaths in the 1940s. The diamond was later bought by Charles F. Winston, who cut the diamond into 3 pieces in an attempt to break the curse. The 67.5 carat Black Orlov was set into a brooch of 108 diamonds, suspended from a necklace of 124 diamonds. The diamond was purchased by diamond dealer Denis Pimyetsev in 2004. Pimyetsev said he was pretty confident that the curse is broken. The Black Orlov has been displayed in both the American Museum of Natural History and in the Museum of London. Number 6. Ed Gein's Cauldron. Most people from Plainsfield, Wisconsin are familiar with the story of local legend Ed Gein. In 1957, police investigating a missing persons case came to the house of Ed Gein, looking to question him, and found something that would change the world forever. Gein had exhumed corpses from local graveyards and fashioned trophies and keepsakes from their bones and skin. Gein confessed to killing 2 women, tavern owner Mary Hogan in 1954, and Plainsfield hardware store Bernice Warden. Gein was initially found unfit to stand trial and confined to a mental health facility. In 1968, the town set about the gruesome task of cleaning up Ed's home and auctioning off any usable belongings. Among the belongings was found a large cauldron that is believed to have held Warden's organs and blood. Dan McIntyre found the cauldron in his grandmother's garage. It seems she had been using it as a planter, but after experiencing bizarre occurrences in her home, she decided to hide the cauldron in her garage. McIntyre sold it off at auction, where it was picked up by none other than Zach Bagelbites. I mean Bagans. Zach Bagans, yeah. More popularly known as the host of Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures. Zach Bagans has placed the cauldron in his Las Vegas museum, where people can still see it today. Number 7. Robert the Doll. When Key West artist Robert Eugene Otto was 4 years old, he was given a doll as a gift. As the story goes, the doll looked kind of human, but kind of not. He wore a sailor suit and carried a toy of his own, a miniature stuffed lion. Jean named him Robert, and from the moment he first appeared, weird events plagued the family home. Jean's parents would periodically hear Jean giggling with someone as they walked by his closed bedroom door. Furniture overturned in rooms in which Robert sat, and Jean began having horrible nightmares. Toys would disappear and reappear mutilated, and whenever something went wrong, Jean would be known to say the phrase, "Robert did it." Even after Robert was banished to the attic, passerbys claimed to see a small figure moving from window to window. Many believe the doll to be cursed. These days, Robert is kept under lock and key at Key West Fort East Martello Museum. You can visit him, but make sure you ask his permission before taking his picture. He does not take kindly to unsolicited photographs.
And whatever you do, don't bring home a duplicate of Robert the doll. Seriously, don't do it. No.
Number 8. The Woman of Lem statue. We're pretty sure the statue known as the Woman of Lem is a depiction of a fertility goddess, but it may well be a death statue, because good gravy, that's all that seems to follow in its wake. Dating back to roughly 3500 BCE, the statue was recovered from Lem, Cyprus, in 1878. Since then, it's had at least 4 different owners, all of which perished within 6 years of receiving it. First, there was Lord Alphonse. All 7 members of his family died within 6 years of the statue's arrival in their home. Ivor Minucci's family, owner number 2, all went within 4 years, as did the family of Lord Thompson Noel, who was owner number 3. Owner number 4, Sir Alan Biverbrook, and his wife and 2 daughters went next. But before it finished off the entire family, the 2 remaining sons donated the statue to the National Museum of Scotland in Edinburgh. The museum curator who took care of the acquisition died within only a year. Freaky, right? Or at least it would be if the story was true. According to Rob Bricken at IO9, the statue exists, but the tales that cling to it are pretty much entirely made up. It's often referred to as the Lemba Lady. It was discovered in 1970, not 1878, and it's been part of the general collection at the Cyprus Museum in Nicosia since it was first found.
And thankfully it hasn't, killed anyone, so hooray for that.
Number 9. The Myrtle's Mirror. The Myrtles has a reputation for being the most haunted plantation in the South, so that right there should give you a hint as to what you're in for when you seek out a particular mirror that resides on the premises. One of the many, many stories attached to the place alleges that Sarah Bradford Woodruff, one of the plantation's ladies, and 2 of her 3 children died in 1824 of oleander poisoning. But even so, they never quite managed to leave. It's said that their spirits are trapped within an antique mirror still on display within the house. Strange marks often appear on its surface, marks that no amount of cleaning can remove. But sometimes it's not just marks, sometimes it's handprints.
The Myrtles Plantation is now a bed and breakfast, so if you want to stay the night, you still have a chance.
Number 10. The Hands Resist Him painting. Now, I didn't want to do this one because it seriously haunts my dreams, but here we go. Often referred to as the haunted eBay painting, The Hands Resist Him was found on the site of an old brewery by a couple from California. They put the painting up for auction on eBay in February of 2000, claiming that the characters in the painting sometimes moved on their own, and occasionally even escaped the boundaries of the painting itself. Eventually it sold for a whopping $1,025, only because apparently people really like to decorate their homes with cursed paintings. While there's no denying that the piece, which features a young boy and a doll-like girl standing in front of a window and a sea of disembodied hands, is a little on the creepy side, it's probably not actually cursed. The work of artist Bill Stoneham, it was based off a photograph his parents took of him and a neighbor when they were children. He himself was rather surprised when he heard about the stories attached to his piece. Says Stoneham about the painting's symbolism, There are memories, echoes of all the life within a place. The hands are the other lives. The glass door, that thin veil between waking and dreaming. The girl/doll is the imagined companion or guide through this well.
He painted some sequels, by the way. 2 of them. So, yeah, if you want the complete set... Well, that's all for this week's episode. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more so you can join us for next episode. Feel free to leave a comment in the section below. And hey, while you're at it, let me know, what do you fear?